Hello.
Hi, 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 hi. How are you? Oops.
Good. How are you?
Um, Hold on. I lost you there for a second. I'm just a
Oh.
mess today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, I'm well. Thank you very much. Hope you're doing well as too. Oh, I am so distracted today. I need another cup of coffee or something. Thanks for joining us today. This is the Commentary Zone. As you enter the room, please give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, notification bell, and most importantly, tell a friend. Maybe I just need alcohol. Maybe that's it. I didn't have any last night.
Are you okay?
No,
Okay. All right.
apparently not. Okay, so today on the docket, an old friend has returned. Last night was the premiere episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 11, episode 1, Dressed to the 90210s. Oof.
What was your overall impression?
Um, I was happy with it for a first, like a season premiere.
Hmm.
And I like that they didn't bludgeon us over the head with the panorama experience. Um, they did it in a different way, which I appreciated. It wasn't at the top of the episode, it was more to the end where each of the
Hmm.
women started sharing like how they felt and how the panorama impacted their lives. I think it was when Lisa asked the question, what was good and what was bad about the
Right.
experience. Yeah.
It didn't seem heavy.
Well, until it got to Erica, which of course she's doing the setup for.
Hmm.
My attorney says I can't answer that question.
Exactly. I'm waiting for that.
Or she might even throw in, because you notice she said that she was on a medication. So she might say, my doctor has advised me that I really shouldn't talk about that because it can impact my mental health.
I'm
I'm
waiting
just
for that
waiting.
one.
I'm just waiting. And
It's,
of
it's, it,
course,
mhm.
she's saying the ladies really just don't have any idea about what's going on in my life.
Neither do we. So we're
I
all in the
would
same boat.
I would say do tell, but I know your heifer ass ain't gonna say nothing. So sick of her.
Nope. So
And
since this is the premiere, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, just one more ratchet thing. I hope the feds is documenting every piece of jewelry, clothes, shoes, handbag in all of her menagerie of closets at home and at the studio, everywhere. I hope they sitting down there taking a full documentation of everything.
I still think the feds have a Bravo division where they literally watch all these Bravo shows and take notes. I really do.
Just like how we hope that immigration watches all of TLC shows.
Because my thing was this, like, man, I'm like, well, we have to remember that probably I would have to say the first 4 episodes or so are probably pre divorce filing. Because if it were post, she wouldn't have showed her closet like that. No way.
Mm.
Because I think filming started in, I want to say, late September, October, and she filed on November 3rd. So I'm guessing the first 3 to 4 episodes are probably like her, what she normally would do with the glam squad and showing her closet, showing her clothes. But then afterward, we ain't seeing nothing. We gonna forget she had a closet.
So you think he actually sprung the divorce idea on her, saying, "Let's get the divorce
No,
so that we
no,
could."
she. Oh,
Mhm.
did they were they cahoots?
Well, I think they are in cahoots, but someone has to bring up the subject and say, "Look, this is a strategy that I'm taking. I'm the lawyer." I pictured Tom telling her this, in the office, saying, this is a strategy. This is how we're going to send these funds overseas. overseas and hide them. You'll get this percentage and I'll get this percentage. And basically, we're going to do the divorce. So that'll get you another percentage here that they can't touch as a settlement. Da, 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 da. This is for your own benefit. So let's just do it. This is the plan. And she's like, oh, okay. So which lawyer do I go to? And, that's how I see that.
And then the shoe fell when all these lawsuits came out.
Right. Because I don't think that
she would have shown her closet.
Right. I don't think he told her all of the trouble that he was in.
Oh, no. Of course not.
She might have known about the survivors of the plane crash suing, because I think that's been ongoing for a while. But the other investigations into him from other sources, I don't see them talking.
Not like that, no.
I
mean, when he quote unquote loaned her company $20 million out of nowhere, that should have been a red flag to her. Sorry.
Did she know about that?
She had to, because she would have to apply for the loan, because it's in documents as a loan. There were loan papers filed with her company name on
signature. Because, let me just throw it out there. Play a devil's advocate. What if there was a little, fakery of the signarization? Or if it went through a business partner who did it, like a business manager who did it on her behalf and didn't bother saying that because he was getting money in the back pocket from Sir Tom.
She would have to know something, because it's an LLC in her name. So anything, she would be notified by her own accountants what was going on. That's just my opinion on that one.
All right. Well, there goes all of my excuses for her.
Because it's a loan. It's not like he just gave her the money. So when you loan, you have to have paperwork, because there should be interest attached to it.
Well, there should be a loan, because this was from his law firm, right?
Mm-hmm.
His law firm money. Since when law firms turn into credit unions or banks issuing loans?
Right.
I thought that was odd. But anyway, we're just jumping ahead of ourselves. Okay, so we open the episode with Broke Nose Kyle sitting up in her bed with all the women coming to say, how do...
Do you want to start with the taglines, though?
Oh, yes! Why didn't you stop me? Okay, so taglines. Sorry, guys. I told you I was off my game today. All right, these are going in alphabetical order because I don't know the order in the show. So this is Crystal. Go ahead.
So as you guys know, well, some of you guys may know or may not know, I tend to rewrite some of the season's taglines because I just don't like them and I think they're bad. So I did rewrite some of them. So Crystal's is Hollywood's full of pretenders and I slay them all. This one's okay for a newbie. I'll take it. I'll keep it because there's not much I could do with it. So it's a nice tagline for coming in.
Okay, so Hollywood is full of pretenders and I slay them all.
It's okay. Rookie season will give you a pass.
Okay. All right, Dorit.
And Dorit's the other one I kept because there was not much I could do with it rewording, and it fits her. So this is a keeper for me.
Okay, just like there's no tomorrow, and then tomorrow do it again. Well, you know why? Because Dorit has no substance, just like how Dorit has no home. So this is perfect for her.
Yeah, it's solid for her.
Yeah. Oh, Erica.
So Erica's the strongest substance on earth. It isn't diamonds, it's me. I'm like, okay. This one I had to rewrite because it's like, you're not giving me anything because we won't know your real strength until you tell us details, if you tell us details. So I rewrote her tagline. If you think I'm a thief, then provide the receipts. I think that should be her tagline. Would she ever say that? No, but I think that fits. I think that fits.
Repeat it again.
If you think I'm a thief, then please provide the receipts.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so next is Garcelle. If you want a starring role in my life, you better drop the act.
It fits her perfectly, but it's too wordy. So I
Mm-hmm.
chopped it down to, if you want to star my life, please drop the act. Same thing, less wordy.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay, so next up is Kyle. This town is a game of chess, but no one's taking this queen down.
Okay, Kyle been talking about this town, my town, Beverly Hills since season one.
Mm-hmm.
That, and she's no queen, so I changed that. And for Kyle, I put, I may not be a queen, but I am nobody's pawn. That fits her better.
She's not gonna admit she's not a queen.
Of course not. I'm just letting y'all know what I feel they should be. I'm telling y'all the truth.
Oh my god. Okay. Jesus. Delusional. All right. So Lisa Rinna says, my lips are legendary and they will never gloss over the truth.
It fits her, but we've talked about her lips before, so I went in this direction. My wigs are legendary. They never hide the truth. Because she's had the same wigs for like what,
Hmm.
20 years, 30 years. They kind of legendary.
I heard that they focused this on her lips because she's getting ready to launch a lip gloss
Lip gloss.
lipstick line or something like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Oh, that was it.
And then there was
That
Sutton.
was
Did you
it.
get Sutton?
Oh, wait, hold on. Why do I keep forgetting Sutton?
Because she was in the Diamond Holder last season.
Oh shit. I don't have Sutton. Hold on. Oh, yeah, I was looking at Wendy Williams. Bravo TV. Is that their tagline?
Yeah, that should be there.
Not tagline. What am I saying? How could I forget poor Sutton? Is this it? No. Aha! Here she is. How could I forget Sutton? Anyone who doubts my exquisite manners can kiss my exquisite derriere.
Too much, too wordy. For her, I went with, while I may be an exquisite Georgia peach, I am not always so sweet. That fits. I think that fits her better.
Hmm.
So I wanted to keep exquisite in there, but I didn't want to overuse it like they did.
Oh yeah, they did use it twice.
So yeah,
I
those are
do
my
like the word derriere though.
so those are my taglines for them. I think mine are better, but
Sweet.
I digress.
You digress. She says that like all lawyers. I picked up on that too, Stephen. Well, I didn't pick up on the 19 minutes in, but I do remember her saying that like all lawyers, he's hurting.
Excuse me, but sir, you've closed $1 billion cases. That doesn't explain where the money went.
Well, Stephen is saying that she had to know that the money was dried up.
Mm, I
Oh,
think the money she knew.
they said the bank made her sign twice because the signature was so awful.
Oof.
That's no bueno. Kyle's nose is no better than Dorit's. I will say this about her surgery. Kyle had one of them noses that was growing with age, and it was hooking over. Did y'all ever notice Kyle's old nose? It was very long and turned down at the end. I never noticed the bump before, so maybe somebody did hit her in the face, or something hit her in the face. But I'm glad that they corrected that so that her nose doesn't look like an old crone. Now, if only she could fix her hands, she'd be all right. Okay. The coldest ice in town. Ooh. And Steven agrees with you. She's not the queen. So Trey. So Kyle and Natalie Nunn are still claiming to run LA. Natalie Nunn, wasn't she from Bad Girls Club?
Yes.
No, she was. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, just going through some of the comments.
Of course.
I agree with you, Susan. Sutton and Garcelle are my favorites as well. Kyle after the nose jobs looks so much like Kathy now. Kathy's been getting tweaked. I'm surprised that she hasn't done anything about her eyesight though. Her lips are crooked. Well, something's got to be crooked. Debbie, you got me touching my nose. Debbie got me. No, but haven't you noticed, like, sometimes when people get older, their noses get bigger or they get longer or something like that? I'm monitoring mine. I want mine to stay small and cute forever and ever. Steven, mine's doing that, but they took Dorit's bump and she doesn't look like her anymore. Wait, Dorit had a nose job? Like, while she's been on the show? Yes, ears and nose grow with age. Thank you, Yanni. Oh, God help my ears. I already have big ears. Oh, jeez. Oh, my Lord. Okay, so let's get back to this. All right, so yeah, she's claiming that this happened on the set of Halloween, this incident which caused her to get the nose job, and while they were in there, she asked them to take 10 years off of her features, and boom, they did it. Yay. I want to know, she had a walk-on part in Halloween. Like, she was filming that forever. I don't even want to hear about Halloween in this season anymore. Erica and Dorit show up to hang out with her.
Okay, let's talk about that. Okay. Question for the chat. Now, do the people, meaning us and the subscribers, yes, I still left in quad, love her, love the people. Do the people think that Dorit owns that car?
No.
Or is it a rental?
I think it could possibly be a lease.
Here's why I asked this. The reason why I asked this because before the season, we just found out they sold their old house. So if you're selling your old house, why are you out here buying $300,000 cars?
Hold on. You know the agreements that she gets for doing the clothes? That's what she's doing with the car.
Sponsorship.
Yeah.
Got it. There we go.
Yeah. She's a smart cookie.
Yes. Yeah.
And notice that at the McLaren.
Right.
And Erica used to be the car guru. Between Erica and Kyle, Erica would have the posh cars and Kyle would have the junkers. And so she was like, look, no one's ever had a McLaren. Let me get a McLaren for the season. And, I'll take it in for a service once or twice and we'll promote your car dealership.
Yeah, because she, the car was filmed like great. The car is a great car. So she probably did maybe what Dorinda did with her apartment. Remember how Dorinda had the agreement? That makes total sense now. Good thought. I didn't think of like this could be a sponsor, another sponsorship. Dorit is on her sponsor game.
Yeah, that's all she does. That's all she does is get like endorsements, sponsorships, barter deals, what have you. And PK, I still want to figure out the hell it is that he does. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, I think that's
okay.
A give and take thing.
I didn't think about that. Good point. Did not think about sponsorship.
Okay, so yeah, those two girls come over first. Kyle says she want to reach out to Garcelle after you did what you did last year.
Right.
Really? Okay, girl. So you ain't even try to fix that during the off season. You waited till we was filming again so that that fissure could grow wider and wider, you waited. Like, okay, some people never change, but whatever. Sutton is over at Garcelle's house, and we see Cherie. They call her Cherie or Sheree?
I think it's Sheree.
Sheree? Okay, so from Will Smith's first wife, Sheree. Let me tell you, I forgot how shady she is. I loved her at the end of this, where she was
Okay,
like,
I was wondering, did you catch that?
Lisa, who?
I was like, okay.
She needs to be a friend to this show. She needs to. I know that you want Eddie, like Nicole Murphy, but I want her. I really want her. And of course, they're doing fireball shots, and Sutton's slamming these shots. I don't know how anybody does fireball. Gross. Okay, so then we go back. Dorit picks up Erica in the fancy car. I don't know the name. And they drive on over. Dorit barely knows how to drive that car.
She was struggling.
Barely. She really was struggling. Mauricio has turned 50.
Right?
Ew, really? I thought he was 50 already, but okay. He offers drinks to the ladies, says he's going down to do barbecue for the kids, asks them if they want to eat. I thought that was the joke of the episode because none of these bitches actually eat. Dorit brings up the fabulous idea that she wants to have a get-together at her house for just the girls, and it will be a barbecue as well. She does barbecue. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
She wants all of them to dress up because they haven't been dressing up during the panorama. And she wants everybody to put on fancy clothes and come over to her house for a sloppy ass barbecue. Yay. What happens next? We're at Dorit's house now. Is this the same house as last season, or is this a different house?
That's a different house.
It's a different house.
Because remember the dream home.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, it had the big front entrance. Like the front of the house was big, and then you walk in. And remember, it was all that space. And then if I recall correctly, when you go in, huge space, and then there was a staircase on the right hand side. I think the staircase was on the right hand side. And it was a pretty big staircase.
The only thing I remember from last season's house was the backyard. Like there was a patch of green, there was some white cement, and I thought it was small in comparison to the house itself.
Right.
But I don't remember anything else. I do remember that there was a lot of open space on the ground floor because I think that's where there was a party or a get together towards the end.
That's where that big entrance was. Like when you walked in, it was like a huge event space.
Right, because that's where he was doing his non-alcoholic champagne at the end of last year. PK was doing that. Anyway, so this house was a little different.
Yeah, they all have different houses except Erica for now. Well, Garcelle is still in her
house is the same. Mm-hmm. She just, I guess,
finished
furnishing
a lot of renovations. No, she did a lot of renovations.
Okay. But her house was new.
Yeah, but she still went in and changed some things that she didn't like.
Okay. Well, I guess because she's filming in there, she had to change some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So we find out that, she goes and she wakes up PK at the bright and early time of 9 o'clock in the morning. She takes the kids downstairs to the playroom so that they could go to school with their tutor, which I thought was a good idea. We find out that Sutton sold her old house and bought a new house, but is doing renovations to it. So she's renting one of Kyle's old homes. until her renovations are done. And I think she's renting it for $25,000 a month.
And that was the family and
That was
friends discount.
family discount. Yeah. Oof. But I do remember that house because the white parties started out at that
Mm-hmm.
house. Great pool area, and she used the tennis court to do the
I
parties
like
and
that.
stuff
I
like
like
that.
that house.
The outdoor space of that house was really good, but I think the inside space was a little restrictive because there were a lot of separate small rooms
Mm-hmm.
that it wasn't an open plan.
Oh, it's 20 great. It's 20 G's a month. Ah,
20, ooh,
even a further discount. Nice.
okay. Let's see.
Well, it makes sense because for a certain style of living, we have to keep that in context. For her style of living, she would pay more than that anywhere else, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest. So
Mm-hmm.
it makes good on Kyle for like hooking her up because I think if Sutton were to go out and get a Kyle's, sorry guys, a house similar to Kyle's, she'd probably pay him between 30 and 40 G's a month.
But here's the thing. All she has to do is film in it every episode, and she's writing it off as a business expense anyway.
Exactly.
So she's not really paying.
Kyle, yeah, Kyle's getting a check,
Yeah, and Kyle really needs a check.
and Sutton's gonna write that off on her taxes, so she good.
Mm-hmm.
Sutton, good job on both ladies for doing that.
Yep. So we see Garcelle going to meet with Lisa, and she wants to try to understand why Lisa treated Denise the way how she did
Mm-hmm.
last season. What was your thoughts on this meetup?
Garcelle was not here for Lisa Rinna. She did not. Um, she wasn't buying any of it. She wasn't. She was holding Lisa's feet to the fire the way they should have done it at the reunion, or the way Denise should have done it. So I think Garcelle handled it perfectly.
I also think Garcelle caught on to Lisa's tactics very early on. Lisa wouldn't even finish off the hi before she was like, "Hi, I am so sorry. I am a see you next Tuesday. It just happens. I apologize."
And when Garcelle said like I won't disagree, she's like I hate that word. I just hate that word, but I won't disagree with you. I was like, okay, this is
Okay.
where we are. And
Mm-hmm.
Garcelle called it straight away though, because Garcelle is saying she's trying to sweep it on the rug so I don't come for her, and that's exactly what it was.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what it was.
I still and I agree with Garcelle. Like, and I don't like how Lisa twisted this. Garcelle was like, "You were friends with her longer than you were with me." And Lisa cut in and said, "No, I knew you longer." And so that only proved her point. And when she said, "Well, why would I think that you wouldn't do the same thing to me?" Like, why couldn't you just be there for her as a friend? And Lisa said, because I saw those text messages and there was no truth. Who are you to be so holier than thou about truth when there's so many lies in your life?
So I mean, way too many,
I'm
way
just
too
saying,
many.
you know, but Lisa thinks that it's best to move things along.
Right. That was my thing. It's like there was no real reason. There was no
Garcelle,
substance.
but did Garcelle tell her that she's going to tread lightly, but she agrees to move on?
What she said was, I'm open to recovery, but I'm proceeding cautiously.
And she said that to Lisa.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Because you know why I'm asking that? Because Sutton at the end is like, you need to reopen this, but there's no need to reopen it if you stated that I'm proceeding with caution with you, woman.
But But the thing is, we need to go back to the conversation Dorit had when Dorit went to Garcelle's home, because that
Mm-hmm.
conversation took place before the end conversation at the party.
Mm-hmm.
Because Dorit goes to Garcelle's house and
Oh, the fish. We have to talk about the fish first.
the
That
fish.
this is what you call masterful shade. There's two little fish in this, fish tank. One is a black
Oh,
and white cute little fish, and the other one is a goldfish. And she said that black and white one is so cute and so
that's
adorable.
Dorit.
That's
That's
Dorit.
Dorit.
And then that's a goldfish. That's Kyle. And
And
why is
what?
Kyle? Because it's just ordinary. Lessons in
Oh,
shade.
oh
Oh,
my goodness.
masterful.
And then Garcelle shows her. I love her studio, her filming
Well,
studio,
yeah.
and then her glam room, and they're
And her glam room,
talking,
yeah. Mhm.
and then Dorit asks Garcelle about their conversation. Like, I guess
Mhm.
Garcelle actually told Dorit they had her and Lisa met. Dorit asked her how she felt, and Dorit gave her an honest opinion. Like, like I had the same
Mhm.
issues with Lisa, not trusting her right away. And then Garcelle was like, really? You thought about it? Dorit's like, yeah. At the beginning, it was like, you know what? We're going to proceed with caution with you. And then Garcelle's like, okay, I don't feel so bad for feeling this way. And Dorit's all like, no, you're right.
But do you like when Garcelle asked Dorit, "Do you trust her now?" And she hesitated? Oof.
That was more than a hesitation.
Th- That was very telling. Very telling. So yeah. Then we see who's this going over? Kyle and Lisa Renna, they're going over to Crystal's house, and this is the first time we see in Crystal, right?
Right.
Okay, so we head on over to her house. Her husband Rob opens the door. He's the guy from Disney who did The
Mhm.
Lion King. Um, Crystal is doing something for the Children's Hospital charity that Kyle is always claiming to be a part of. And Kyle and Lisa are taking over toy donations um, to Crystal's house. And they drop everything off. They meet Rob. He seems a bit older than Crystal. Do we know
Probably.
how much older?
Let's see.
Um, and so then Um, she takes them on a tour of the house. They go inside like some den or something. We see like the original clay figurines for the Lion King. Like that was I thought that was cool. I
Okay,
never even seen the Lion King, but yeah, I thought that was
so
cool.
so Crystal is 35 and Rob is 58.
Oh, okay. All right. Nice. Um So she takes them outside to the backyard. She has an amazing home.
Yes.
The backyard is beautiful. They have a few drinks and they're sitting down and they're talking. And Crystal gives a little bit of info regarding, having little boys in Chinese culture and how she delayed her delivery until 8 o'clock with one
Right.
of her children so that she could get the lucky number 8.
Mhm.
I didn't think you could do that, but go ahead, Crystal.
I like that
Wow.
they've been married for 14 years. So they got married when she was 21. That's wow.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
if you say so.
Hey, like for me, any marriage past 5 years is fantastic. So
Okay. So yeah. Okay. So did you notice? Okay, so I'm gonna take you back to Bling Empire. Remember when Christine did the Chinese party on Rodeo Drive?
and he shut
I
the whole thing down though. She shut the whole thing down. Let's remember that.
So was Crystal invited to this? Because it looks like the same party. Did we have multiple film crews at Crystal's party?
No, it was just
It
similar.
was a different
It's a
party?
similar, a very similar decor and theme and all that good stuff.
Okay. Well, I can't wait to see this party. Anywho, so yeah, we find out that both Crystal and Kyle are both type A's personalities. How do you think that's going to mesh moving forward?
Who's type A and who's type A again?
Crystal and Kyle admit to being type A personalities.
Kyle's not type A though. She wants to be type A.
That's what she said yesterday. That's all I'm saying.
Well, hasn't Kyle been lying since like season 1? But anyway, so Kyle is not a type A because type A's don't need to be followers. You know, if you were a type A, you would be the queen of the show that was centered around you. Type A is a boss who has businesses. When I say businesses, they're open for more than a year at a time. Like, let's call a thing. We ain't seen Kyle by Shahida in like since that fashion show. We have not heard about that. Type A means you're organized, you're detailed. You know exactly what's going on. You know who's doing what. I mean, so she's not type A. I might give her like a type C plus, maybe B minus, but type A no.
We'll talk about that after the show. Okay, so all of these ladies are getting dolled up for the dress up barbecue party at Dorit's house. The hell was Erica wearing? Is that the same dress that Rihanna had, but just in a short tutu version? Remember, she wore it to an award show years ago. I don't know.
Right, but Erica, like we have to remember that Erica still is not devoid of fundage yet. So she's still trying to give us moments. So we have to be fair.
Okay. I thought Dorit looked nice, despite her children not liking what she wore. But I thought she looked
Phoenix
nice.
was cute though. I can see your boobies.
Yeah. Well, she's not too far off the tit anyway, so good on her that she can still recognize them. What'd you think about Lisa Rinna's pantsuit?
It just kind of gave me, how can I put this politely? It gave me a combination of Brazil mixed with Hawaiian tropics. That's the best I could do for you. It's like she went into Wild Kingdom and just picked the first thing she saw.
Like, I know it was supposed to be like homage to that J-Lo Versace print with P. Diddy all those years ago, but it looked like neon vomit to me.
The cut wasn't right.
You know what killed it for me? The shoes. The green shoes. I think if she had on like a silver or gold shoe, strappy, not a pump, it would have been a bit more palatable, but she just looked like neon vomit to me.
And the shoulder pads.
Well, she needs help.
I mean, like, but for her frame, you don't need shoulder pads. Like, no, you have it tailored to your body.
But then everybody would see how skinny she is.
Well, she can pad here and there,
and that's the shoulder pad.
But you don't pad in the shoulders, in my opinion. You don't broaden yourself out because you look like you're about to take off for flight. No, it's not good.
Oh God. What'd you think about Sutton and her old grandmammy rose curtains from the kitchen window?
But here's the thing: we've always had the same issue with Sutton. Lots of money, no style. Just because it's expensive does not make it look good. It just doesn't.
Here's my dilemma. I agree with the actual dress and its shape, and then that flapper 1920s flapper girl type dress. The print killed it for me. If that was a solid, she would have looked amazing because it would have covered up her boxy figure.
Right. So Trey, I didn't hate the dress. The color doesn't suit Sutton. In my opinion, Sutton should be in solids, like you said, like a deep red, like a deep
And
blue.
yeah, if it was an emerald, like a jewel tone, because you
Yes.
see that blue dress, that sapphire dress she has on in
Hmm.
the thing, she looks amazing because it plays off of her light complexion and blonde hair.
Hmm.
It makes her pop.
Yes.
But
The
them
color,
roses.
what you know what it is? Her dresses aren't bad. What it is the colors she chooses ages her. Because if you notice,
Mm-hmm.
Sutton's clothes aren't bad when you look at them aesthetically. It's the color that
Mm-hmm.
ages her out. Like I felt like the dress she had on was the flapper is good. Had it been a solid black, great.
Mm-hmm.
Solid colors or colors that complement you. Because I
Or
felt
a
that dress,
red
yeah, red
with a deep red lip. She would look so
and a
good.
silver and like a silver headband or hairpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Because the color for me it just kind of washed her out.
Yeah.
And that's what and that was when you get washed out that ages you.
Frumpy.
Yeah,
She
it's the
looked
color.
frumpy.
And it was all the color. It was all the color.
Mm-hmm. Um, we see Kathy and Crystal carpooling over to the party. And we find out that they are the eaters. So we finally got some people who eat food in this group, besides Garcelle.
Mm-hmm.
We like them. Why is Kathy wearing a muumuu?
I just want to put Trey's comment on the screen.
Uh, I don't understand. Maybe she couldn't read it because we find out she's blind as a bat and can't put in context because she's scared.
Mm-hmm.
So she will go around mistaking Garcelle for Kyle.
I was like, what? That's when Dorit said, your eyesight is bad, huh? Oh my goodness. So what do you see? I see pink. I see air. And I see a mask. I'm like, okay. And it's when
but
Dorit said, do you have
Garcelle,
contact?
but Garcelle is like so tall and a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
my good Lord.
Oof.
So the crazies arrive and we have that interaction. Crystal is shady as piss. I love her black jumpsuit. I ain't gonna lie. But she thinks that she's underdressed. And she mentions that the group dresses very loudly.
She was too funny though. But
Um,
I just found it interesting that when she walked in, like she knew Garcelle.
but wait,
That
wait.
was
Before we get to that,
okay. Go ahead.
did you see the conversation that Crystal had with Lisa? It was
Remind
right
me.
after she said that the group dresses very loudly. And remember, Lisa has on that green outfit, and
Yes.
Lisa's like, well, you can borrow it. And she's like, well, I would
Right.
have to stop eating and drinking.
Yeah. Yeah. I caught. Okay. Yeah. That's okay. I didn't consider that a conversation. I just considered that shade. But if we can call that conversation.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. So now let's dissect Crystal and Garcelle. Movie industry, like I could see them knowing each other, and I
But
love that she acknowledged that.
it was interesting that I guess Garcelle's ex-husband was her husband's CPA, and that's how they
Mhm.
know each other. I'm like, oh, okay. And they were like, when Garcelle said, "I haven't seen you in forever," and Crystal was like, "I know." I'm like, oh, y'all know each other? Like, oh, okay. Cause you could see right away there was a history there.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I'm gonna let you take the part, like the next shadiness from
Well,
Crystal.
well, she really made me happy this episode, but never more happy than in her confessional where she's like, well, in Beverly Hills, you always know somebody. You always know someone who knows someone, whatever. And if you don't know that person, then they're not worth knowing. Shady ass producer's gonna come and ask her, so do you know Dorit? No. She's growing on me.
But the fact that she shook her head and looked down, like,
No.
no. I was like, oof. Oh, that hurt me. That hurt me, and it wasn't even about me.
Oh my God. Well, she'll learn not to fall into these producer setups, but until she does, I think I'm going to continue to enjoy it. So yeah, she was shady within the first 15 minutes of this barbecue. Now let's remember, this is a barbecue. All right, so I thought everybody's there until we saw that Kyle and Mauricio arrived late. I wasn't feeling her dress. This was another wrong color for me on her.
It's a color. It's a color thing.
And it seemed too tight. What to me? She just seemed like she suffered like the rest of us with a little extra COVID weight. That's all I'm saying.
I think Yanni says that's why I think she stuck up, not shady. You know what, Yanni? I think she's shady, but she has such a resting face. I'm gonna leave it. There's a word missing. She has a very resting bee face. So whenever she's shady, it's gonna come off as stuck up, similar to Kate Chastain from Below Deck. How
She's just
Kate's face
dry.
Kate's face stays on rest. I mean, it's never active. So when Kate
Mm.
used to be shady, it came off as like she's a bee. So I think Crystal's in that same mold.
Oh Lord. Okay, so Kyle and Mauricio arrive. Dorit says to Sutton, I need to know if she glammed and if that's the reason why she's late, going back to last
Mm-hmm.
season's one of their stupider arguments.
Correct.
And Sutton says, shut up. No, we are not starting off like that, and exits stage right. And Dorit goes in. And she actually says it to her. And to Kyle's credit, she took it as a joke. Thank God.
Right.
Okay, this is supposed to be a barbecue, right? We get to see the display of food. It's all hors d'oeuvres.
Mm-hmm.
Where and pigs in a blanket seem to be the main course in this hors d'oeuvre. And there's nothing I hate more than bringing out a platter with 6 hors d'oeuvres on it. She was cheap, she was frowsy, and that was not a buffet. That was not a barbecue. That was a snack for me to watch this show. And then she gonna serve him cold. Because Lisa ragged out on that when he brought out another platter of 6, pigs in a blanket. She go, oh, these are warm.
So messy. So messy.
I don't know. She had more
What do
liquor
you
there than food.
so what do you think? What
Mm-hmm.
PK's win birthday?
Just poor and desperate.
Nope. Not poor and desperate.
Listen, he picked that up from I don't know, one of his storage boxes from the 80s when he was high and riding high with what's his name, Boy George. I don't know. He just both him and Mauricio looked poor and dusty. I am so disappointed that Mauricio has let himself go to the dogs like this. I remember when Mauricio was the sexiest housewife. Then they started showing images of him with his mohawk
That was
and
bad.
looking dirty, like he was living under a bridge selling oranges or something. Like, who is that? He's in his 50s now. He should be bringing full on salt and pepper sexy, and all I'm getting is bum, broke, and dusted. He needs to do better. Stop smoking all that weed, Mauricio. It's
Well,
dragging you down.
they say you are the company you keep, but I'll digress.
How he get such big friends with PK though? Why they going on vacation to Mexico together, thinking that they the sexiest house husbands?
Because of Dorit and Kyle's friendship. That's all it is.
That's
But
not real.
stop it. But with them, I was just like, what kind of struck me was that when PK said like, oh, like ladies have fun, don't wait up because we're gonna be out late, very late. I'm like,
Doing what?
doing what?
Gross.
Where are you
And with
going?
who?
Exactly.
With who and how many?
I was like very late. Like, why would you need to say that? You just say I'll see you later, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow. Okay, so those two idiots go
Okay,
off and leave the
quick
women
question.
alone.
Did you see the? But did you catch the shade? Bravo's so wrong for that.
What?
When they put that poll up there, like how they did that. Who's the sexiest? Who's the sexiest husband? That was so wrong. Poor PK sitting over there at 0%. I felt bad for him.
But what else can you expect? Ew. Wait, how old is he? Close to 60, right? He's just trying to compete with the 20-year-olds. Who? Who, Yanni? Who's Yanni talking about? PK or
I mean PK.
Oh. And he don't even have the money to compete to get a 20-year-old.
Oh, PK's 53.
Shut up.
That's what Google is saying.
Wow. That's a hard 53.
I mean, but remember he was like he's been up and down his whole life, so it's probably taking a toll.
Okay, I'll give him that. I'll give him that.
But also you have to realize when you drink a lot and you probably partied back
Yeah.
in the day, that
Yeah.
will age you
And
out.
probably smoking too. Because
Mm-hmm.
he's English. I think they still smoke a lot. I don't know. What okay, so the boys leave and the ladies go outside, and Lisa announces that she wants to do this Lake Tahoe trip. She's got a huge villa for all the ladies to go to. Kathy is invited as well. But here's where the really Looney Tunes started for me. Kathy asked if she could bring her scissors and her dental kit, and apparently she's been doing hair and dentistry on the side for years. And then Kathy herself tells this weird story about doing the neighbors, like doing I hope it's pretend dentistry on the neighbors' kids. Why would they think that this would be interesting to me?
Y'all need to let Kathy be Kathy. If this is the real her, I need her to leave now. Exit stage
Yeah,
left.
I'm a little disappointed in Kathy Hilton based on this.
But I'll be honest, I
Um,
didn't want to meet. Here's the only small issue I had.
mhm.
If Kathy, as a friend, is going to be introducing us to a new diamond holder, I need her to come on stronger.
Like Mama D?
Yeah. Like, if you're a friend introducing a diamond holder, you need to be on point. Since this is what we got, I would have preferred Crystal come in through Garcelle. Because they do know each other.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, that
Kathy
makes
didn't
sense to me.
Kathy just didn't come through.
Yeah,
And it's like, oof.
it just seemed odd and out of place with this group of women. Just
Mm-hmm.
saying. And it's not like she can't bring it. Like when she showed up in that muumuu, I was thoroughly disappointed because every time I've seen Kathy Hilton, be it casual or at her daughter's wedding, she has always been very elegant and on point. And when she showed up looking like she was washing clothes on a rock by the side of the stream at a hippie commune, I was just like, wait, what? And why do you have a gut right below your breast coming in the room before you? I was like, who is this? Who?
I expected chic elegance all the way. And I was like, oof, no.
Yeah. It's just hopefully next episode she'll
Right.
realize that they're filming
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll see Kathy.
For some reason, like, she's been on the show before as like a quick friend, but you kind of should know what to expect. You know, Ebony, I do understand
Oh,
It's her
sorry.
first episode as a friend, but she's been on the show before, so I kind of thought she would know the game a little bit better.
Mhm.
Just be herself, her real like I got this money self.
Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so then we pan away and we see Dorit and Lisa at the bar, and they're talking about Garcelle. And Lisa says that she feels good about it after they had their lunch or whatever, and that Lisa's trying to be better, not bitter.
Okay.
I think she sits alone at home and tries to think of these little sayings
Mm-hmm.
to carry her through the season. Oh my God. Um, Meanwhile, Sutton is talking to Garcelle and asking her about the same thing. And Garcelle says point blank, she would be stupid to trust her after just one meeting. Sutton lets her know that Lisa thinks that they are good. And if they are not, she needs to go back and like revisit that conversation so that Lisa
Mm-hmm.
knows that there are no splinters left. And Garcelle is like, how in the hell are there not going to be splinters? Did you not see what happened last season?
Right.
And I kind of agree with Garcelle because a lot happened last season to several well-established relationships that were formed before this show. And a lot was left unexplained. And I get Garcelle. I would not trust someone who I thought was my friend who tore down another person who happened to be both of our friends with no explanation.
Exactly.
And that's why I asked you what Garcelle said specifically during that meeting with Lisa Rinna. That's why I asked you that, because she did not tell her everything is hunky dory and we solid. She did not.
No, not at all. It's far from it.
Yeah. So this is just mind-boggling to me. But okay, I would not revisit this. I would just tread lightly.
Rena's painting it like, oh my goodness, we're back to BFFs, blah blah blah. And Garcelle said like, what Garcelle really says like, you know what? I'm willing to move forward with you as an acquaintance of an acquaintance, and we'll see how it goes from there.
Yeah. I love it that Kathy Kathy mispronounced Dorit's name. We should call
Door,
her Dorit.
Dorit. Dorit. That's what it is. Dorit.
Dorit, yeah. And this is after having a dinner with her.
Right.
Was she calling her Dorit the whole dinner? But Kyle corrects her, but this seems like par for the course. I could understand Kathy doing this because
Mm-hmm.
she's at a level where she doesn't really need to remember your name unless it is of importance to her. And much like Crystal, if I really don't need to know you, then no, you're not relevant.
They are so funny to me.
They just coming after poor Dorit.
We need Dorit though. She brings the fashion.
Oh, and the McLaren, apparently. Um,
Hey.
this is where we get into that conversation where Lisa wants to know what's the hardest and the best part of COVID for each of the ladies. And everybody was like very family oriented, kids, time, they took a step back, stuff like that. And then we get to Erica. I'll leave that to you.
I just don't like when people do stuff like this and make it over dramatic instead of just saying like, you know what, it's been a tough year. I went from being on a Broadway show and working to like literally sitting at the house by myself. That's
Mm.
all she really had to say. We didn't need to go into, I'm on this medication, and then the confessional talking about we all have things going on, but none of these ladies know what's going on in my personal life. I was like, cute. I'm like, cute, like the dancing violins, cute, the fake tears, cute, the obligatory. Oh, I just can't do. I just can't do
Oh
it.
wait.
It's just like no.
Wait. Let's do a Candace, and we make the little origami.
Yep. It was just bad. It was just bad acting.
Ah, good Lord. But yeah, but did you notice that Garcelle made her break down what Lexapro was or whatever medication it was that she was on? She's like, and what's that? Antidepressants.
Mhm. But we see in the
Oh,
previews, Garcelle's not completely buying what Erica's selling.
well, she ain't no dummy.
No, but you can just see her the looks that she gives. It's like,
Yeah,
okay.
Yanni, why you reading my mind? Poor Erica. Whatever.
I just thought it was super dramatic for no reason. Like you can just say you had a tough year. You went from being busy to not working to now you don't know what to do with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, ma'am. With what money he has left, you should have opened yourself a nice little consignment shop like Marlo. She should have gotten Marlo on the phone and be like, "Hey, Marlo, notice that you actually rent out your clothes. How did you do that? Open up a business because
But
she has clothes people will want to rent.
but wait a minute. She said that she was wandering around the house all by herself. Where her husband was at? Because
Mind you,
before she said that he was struggling. They weren't
correct.
working.
That's what I was gonna say.
Where he at? Where them big old wolfhounds that you got? Where was all of them? Do you think
Because
that
you
they
was
repossessed the dogs?
yeah. So my thing is like I was just gonna bring up the point. You went from saying lawyers are struggling to you were in the house by yourself. If he's
Mm-hmm.
struggling, that means he should be at home with you struggling. Where's he struggling at?
Wait, and having dinner every night at the kitchen table with him.
But you in the house by yourself.
Maybe he
I
was with a
mean,
judge.
you can read my mind. Was he struggling? Was he struggling with the judge? Is that what was going on? Just saying.
She couldn't invite one of her glam squad over to be with her and pay them like 20,000 instead of 40,000 if it's only one.
Hmm.
I'm just saying,
It's just
like,
interesting. Here's the thing, and this is gonna be very interesting. This is gives me not so positive vibes with Erica this season because within this first episode, we've already found discrepancies in your story.
okay, I'm gonna throw something out there. Okay, so she got this total sob story thing at the last, 10 minutes of the episode.
Hmm.
Do you think Bravo is editing a sympathetic story for her, knowing full well that the feds already took all day footage?
We won't know until about 3 or 4 episodes in, and the reason why I say that is a combination of she's starting off right away with the sob story.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Yanni, this is what I was saying earlier. She need to get Marlo on the Zoom to get that business started. That's what she should have done. Um, but back to Erica, like we won't know until about a couple episodes in to see how they're gonna edit this because she's starting with the sob story and we've already caught her in some discrepancies. So it's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah, but I liked the episode. What
Yeah,
about
it was
you?
good.
Okay.
It was good, but it's just interesting that I just find it interesting that we are catching Erica in some untruths, as we'll call them.
Well, you and I, like, I think we over dissect or over analyze these stupid shows. And I think the producers have gotten sloppy over the pandemic period.
I will go with that, but I think if you're gonna give good, accurate commentary is that you have to dissect things, especially when they're more on the obvious side. And Erica's story not matching up.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious. Stories should not start matching up until later on in the season. And the fact that we already see this gives me pause. You know,
Oof.
that's the thing. So had Erica said like we're edited this way, but we didn't catch her, her story conflicts later in the season, I can understand it. But for them to come out the gate with this edit is not a good look.
Mm-mm-mm. Well,
And that's the thing with comment, like going back to commentary, like I said, to give good commentary, you have to dissect things. Otherwise, what's the point in doing it?
mm-hmm.
For commentary, this is just my opinion. Commentary should be you looking at both sides, trying to see both sides and explain both sides, but then still having your own opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't get on a show just to yeah, you shouldn't just recap a show and not really look into the show. Then what's the point? Like I don't need you to tell me about the show since I've already watched it 9 times out of 10.
Mm-mm-mm. Well, yeah, I agree with that as well. Um,
Oh yeah,
but
Jan, real quick,
and took
Jan
full
said,
advantage of the money of her. Ooh,
right. My thing
yeah.
is with Erica, and this is my personal opinion. I don't think she knew the inner workings of it. I
At least not
don't
at
think,
first. At least
not
not at
at
first.
first, but I do think towards the end she got a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody, I still believe someone tipped her off, and that prompted the divorce. I'm gonna hold on to that until I'm proved wrong, because this divorce seemed to come out of nowhere.
Do you remember who filed first?
Erica did.
Erica.
November 3rd, from what I found online. Because they
I'm
always
very
paint,
intrigued to see how this rolls out.
because they paint this like, I support him, he supports me, he's always been there for me, we're great, blah blah blah, this and that, and then you just follow divorce out of nowhere. Had we seen issues over the last year or two, we could understand the divorce. But for her to just like, I'm filed for divorce, we need our privacy. No, ma'am.
Do you think when they go away to Lake Tahoe that's when the bottom falls out for her?
Mm.
'Cause the
Things.
scenery, like, remember
Mm-hmm,
the snapshot the sneak peeks, and that
mm-hmm,
scenery where Garcelle and her are
mm-hmm.
talking, like, on this mountain top kinda
Right.
area, like, that could be like, I don't know what Lake Tahoe looks like, I'm ignorant,
Mm-hmm,
but it seems kinda woodsy like their cabin.
mm-hmm.
Do you think it
I think
happens then?
I think it happens then. I think it happens. I think the catalyst is a conversation between Garcelle and Erica.
Mm. Okay,
Hold
okay.
on, before we wrap this up.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Blavi said this season was a boring start, but I'm okay with that. I thought the episode was good. It entertained me because look what happened in New Jersey and how they did it.
Well, wait, how many minutes did Ablavi watch? 2? How many minutes did you watch Ablavi?
Blavi, did you watch past the taglines?
Oh my god.
I'm
Crystal
just
gave us
saying.
a glimmer of hope. I do like Crystal, like her introduction, I like it. I like that she has the potential to be shady, but a different kind of shady, not like mean-spirited. Um, I'm a little off balance with Kathy. It's not what I was expecting, but hopefully, once she finds some glasses, hopefully things change. Did anyone Rena has such a huge mansion in Tahoe? I don't believe her. No, she rented it.
Yes, you read it.
Yeah, it's a
No, no,
rental.
she said I have a house. So,
No, well, I took that as that she rented a house.
oh god,
I didn't take that as I own a house. Um, no, her husband's real home is a pup tent in a forest somewhere in Vancouver. Oh dear.
oh
Oh,
Bravo rented the house. That makes sense.
okay, Blavy, we've only got a few minutes, so let's hear your thoughts on this silly little show. Okay, hold on. Hello, my
Hi.
dear.
Okay, I'm going to be very quick because I know Jamal does not like to be on this long. Let's just begin with the season. So, you know me, I was sitting here relaxing. First of all, when you go to Married at First Sight, they need to be slapped for how long that episode was last night.
I haven't watched it yet. I spent it was a Bravo night for me. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
Listen, when I tell you he showed his natural behind, it was too much. It was 3 hours live.
No, listen, if you're talking about Chris on maths, we're going to
Hmm.
talk about it for a few minutes tomorrow on our Australia math.
Okay.
I was so angry at that show last night. I could not talk about it. Even though
But
I
what?
had it in the description, I couldn't talk about it.
Okay, well, okay. So let's get to it.
Hmm.
I didn't watch Jersey yet. You didn't go over Jersey, right?
No, that'll be Saturday.
Okay, didn't watch Jersey yet. Let's
Hmm.
talk about this. So I was getting ready. I saw the 7 minutes preview. I was like, yes, yes. I'm gonna need Bravo to get the people from Real Housewives of Atlanta to get Garcelle's hair together. I didn't like any of those wigs. And then is it
Hmm.
just me or did Garcelle's house get worse? Like last season, that view of her house was iconic.
Hmm.
I don't know about you, but it seemed very tight. Every room seemed tight.
She's got
No,
a
it was.
lot more furniture in there and it
Yes.
seems cluttered.
I'm just like,
Remember
oh,
last year, it was really sparsely. It was sparsely furnished, and it
mhm.
made it seem more open. But when
Hmm.
she moved her furniture and stuff in, it made everything like tighten up, like Debbie said. So I agree with that.
Hmm.
Oh, I was looking at the house. I was like, oh, it's just so tight. If she
Hmm.
don't get those shake and go wigs together, we're gonna have problems. Then she had those ugly barrettes all in her head. I was just
Hmm.
like, who had the ugly barrettes? Somebody else had ugly barrettes and it used to bother me. Who
Dorit,
was it?
Dorit,
Oh,
Dorit,
Dorit.
Dorit,
Yeah,
Dorit.
Durit. Yeah, Durit.
ugly. I used to call her Doritos. It took me like
Everyone
two
did.
seasons.
Hmm.
I was like, shout out to Doritos. But let's go on. So they go through the episode. It's very boring, 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 boring. You see Erica and her scamming. I said, now, Erica, you getting sued. Why are you showing people everything that's going to be at the estate sale? I was looking
Ablavi,
all the
you have
jewelry.
to. But Bob, you have to remember this, and we talked about this earlier in the show. We have to remember the divorce came out after filming started. The divorce is November 3rd. Filming started late September, early October. That's why she's acting like everything's normal. Nothing's
But
going to change for the first 4 episodes.
that thing. She's telling you he's scamming if you got the prefix. She said, I'm going through a lot in my marriage right now. We're always together. And she was acting like, oh, he's guilty of something. I think she started to realize the scammation it was running its course.
I think she got a phone call, and I'm gonna stick by that. I think she got a phone call that said, "Look, EJ, this is what's going on. Get ready." She's like, "Okay, cool. Get my lawyer on the line. We filed for divorce." I'm standing by that. I believe it.
You're right,
The
but
divorce,
didn't
but
Glam Squad get smaller?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
So
yeah. She
I
started cutting them down.
yeah, I think the funds was run from the
Bobby?
Pussycat Dolls
Bobby.
ain't
Mm-hmm.
nothing.
We lost you there for a second. Could you just repeat what you said?
Oh, I said the guy from the Pussycat Dolls is such a clout chaser.
Of
That's where
course
I
he is.
know him from. He used to be the
Oh.
choreographer for the Pussycat Dolls when they had that show on CW.
Yeah, speaking of the next doll.
Oh.
Yeah.
So now he's her stylist? Or is
hmm
he a choreographer slash stylist?
I mean, he hasn't been a choreographer since Columbus Short's been a choreographer.
Oops.
Oh.
Well. Well.
Woo, honey.
Well. Oops.
I mean, if we're talking about choreographers, that one on the Finding Neverland, apparently he's still a choreographer too.
Well.
Oh.
I mean, if we're gonna speak on it, just saying.
That's where I know him from, and he was attention seeking. Him and Robin. Remember how attention seeking they used to be? And they just would go to they just made the plastic surgeon billionaires with all the Botox they've gotten.
Mm.
Mm.
But now let's get to it. So that was the first thing. Then I saw the outfit, and I was looking at the estate sale, saying, "Ooh, I wonder if I could get something for $5.99." But anyways, I was looking.
She was,
Listen,
she was
if her
advertising
clothes
though.
go on scale, honey, I'm going to the gym 3 times a day just to get me some Versace, some Balenciaga, some Chanel, some Dolce Gabbana.
But let's be honest. Let's be honest and give Erica her credit. When the estate sale happens, it's gonna be lit.
It's
They
gonna
gonna
be
be have
lit.
they gonna have cars around around the mountains to get to her stuff. I'm just saying.
Listen, I will go to LA. Like you know how Cameron and with her raggedy Pottery Barn clothes was doing a sale. We don't want that. We want Erica Jane's closet.
But didn't the house get burglarized?
Yeah,
Did
that's code
Allegedly,
word for I've
allegedly.
hired one of
I
the
hired
hood
someone to
farmers.
go and
Yeah.
and get my stuff?
hmm
Do we think that she hired? Do we think that Teddy's husband is the security system? Because like there was a rumblings that they were scamming with because Kyle's house got broken into and some other people's houses got broken into and allegedly he did the security systems for all their houses.
Well,
I
here's the thing about Kyle's house, right? They've caught Kyle in a lie. Kyle said that she got that ring stolen from her mother. Then she posted up a picture on IG with that same ring a few months later. So Kyle, you might want to, keep your lies straight.
Oh Lord. Oh
hey,
Lord.
Listen, this is Beverly Hills. This isn't.
well, technically it's a Real Housewives of Pasadena, of Encino, of Calabasas, but I digress.
But
Yeah. I
yeah,
We'll,
think
we'll,
Sutton is
we'll,
the only one in Beverly Hills, right?
who?
no, Sutton,
Sutton.
Kathy, and Crystal.
Oh, they got 3 now in Beverly Hills.
hmm
Whoa. Last season, I know Sutton was the only one that was in Beverly Hills.
But let's talk about that. So let's
Mm-hmm.
carry on. So we were on the boring season. We
Mm-hmm.
saw Renna in that helmet, and I mean, does she get her clothing from Party City? There was just tacky, 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 tacky. I don't know where she got those rags from. Then we go in, she and Garcelle, and they both were just looking like the Joker and his lover. And we get to Sutton and Garcelle having talking. I was like, what kind of foolishness is this?
Oh my
But,
God.
Blah, did you like seeing Sheree in the mix? I like seeing her.
I do too.
I do, but I would be more interested in seeing Will's alleged lover.
But we can't weave too many people into the show up, blah. They gotta weave into the show. We
Listen,
gotta
he need a job.
stop it.
Oh
And
yeah.
so Sunday had the little party, and then where else we going to Blobby?
Then we went there. Okay, then we had They go to Dorit's new rental scam,
Ay,
and
ay,
and she goes, and Garcelle was filming the real dream job. Okay, 250K a season is a dream job, please. But
Well, it's
anyways,
steady. It's steady work. So that's a dream for her. And she gets to
listen,
stay home with her kids.
that's not steady. Ellen's making 50 million. They need to pay those women their money. Ching ching. Pay
Oblavi.
those
Okay,
women.
so Oblavi, we were talking about the McLaren that Dorit has.
Hmm.
Debbie said that's on sponsorship. Do you agree?
No, this is what happened because I really do believe that Dorit is an old garden tool and sells it still. I think that was I do because I think that's how she's able to live. I think she's just an expensive garden tool, kind of how allegedly Miranda Kirk was. You know who that is, right? That was the Victoria's Secret model, allegedly. And they say
Hmm.
Heidi Klum allegedly was in that circle. But anyways, I think she's a high paid garden tool that, sleeps with wealthy men because, she don't mind sleeping with the crypt keeper. And that's how she makes her money.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm with Debbie on the sponsorship deal. Like her clothes, like she's definitely like paid to wear those clothes. So when Debbie brought up the theory of the McLaren being a sponsorship, I'm like, okay, it fits in the Dorit pattern, so I'll go with that.
When
But
you
you,
say
It
sponsorship, do you mean like the Bow Wow sponsorship where you ride it off the driveway and then right when the scene is done, they get their car back?
mm-mm. I think if we wind up at that dealership at least once this season,
Mhm.
that was a barter agreement. They let her have the car to be filmed throughout the season and show up at the dealership at least once. And she like they paid for her lease for her.
Hey, get it how you get it.
You know what? I wonder if it's ever been on her IG.
No, they be renting cars and helicopters.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm.
Woo! But then we got to that scene, pretty boring. Then we get to the scene with the children's hospital, right?
hmm
They
Mm-hmm.
go to this woman's house. This was not a good introduction scene. I'm sorry.
I
It was
said that.
awkward. It was like if she's Kathy's friend, then why isn't Kathy here?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's go to the new one because I went and looked at a receipt. So, Crystal is 35 years old. She grew up in the valley. She married the director of Lion King, so that is coin because Lion King weighed $1 billion. So I'm expecting a net worth at least 50 now to maybe 100 million. He did Stuart Little and Stuart Little too, so he's a ancient director. He ain't hot and young in these streets. He's an eight. Listen, the Lion King is about it's older than my brother, so it's about 24 years old.
Mm. I didn't
The Lion
realize
King,
that.
no, Lion King is very old.
Yeah, it's a
1996, right? Let me just double
yeah,
check.
it was something like that because I was a baby. The Lion King.
1994, 1994.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, that's almost 30 years. But anyways, did you catch the shade when she said, "Yeah, I met him when I was 20." And I'm going, why is she saying that? Because, honey, Crystal girl, you're going to need to moisturize. I really did think he was 45. I
uh,
don't
I'm
know if
supposed.
it's the matrix. Like, she don't look a lot younger than those other girls.
Well, I'm supposed to sit here and scroll through Dorit's Instagram while y'all talk about that
But
because
yeah,
I'm
quiet as it's
scrolling
kept,
through. I don't see the
quiet
car.
quiet as it's kept. I thought Crystal was more in her 40s.
I thought she was in her when she was like, I met him at 21, and the age difference. I said, there's an age difference, really, more than a decade.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I didn't think she looked that old until he came. Like, I saw them in the same frame together, and I was just like, okay, one of these things don't go well together. But I 35. Maybe it's the way how she dresses, because she does
Right.
dress very conservative. That's what
She
I'll
does.
say. So maybe she ages herself up, because the comment about some of my friends dress younger than they should, I think she's just aged herself. That's all.
Listen, she looks older than her husband at times. 35? Listen, this is Beverly Hills. Now, if she was in Kansas and she was just on the farm, okay. But 35? I was
So
sitting here
Bobby,
saying,
no car. No car for Dorit on the Instagram.
so she did a
Yeah.
Bow Wow deal.
Oof. Maybe it was an actual lease. She's the only one with credit though, so maybe she can get it.
Listen, she was looking very seasoned 35, because let's compare her to the other woman. You know, Tiffany Moon is the same age as her.
Mm-hmm.
Um Portia, let's knock off a few years. Fallon, let's add a few years. Fallon and Crystal are what, 3 years apart?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see who else is on it. Do they do
Dorit.
Dorit?
Dorit
I
looks
you
great.
you know what? It was so bad. I thought she and Kyle were the same age. I mean, I don't know what she gonna have to do, but she gonna have to dress better. She looked so old, and it was bad because her husband is old. And at least when you see Erica and Geraldi at every stage in life, you can tell that they have a significant age difference. What is it, 30 years?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You can't tell that with Crystal and her husband. I would think that was, one of his mates, one of his classmates, and he's 58.
Mm-mm.
Now, here's the thing: is she the first wife or the second wife?
The first.
Oh.
Mm.
I'm gonna double. I mean, let me double check that real quick. But I do think she is the first. Y'all talk while I research.
That's another thing. You know what? And this is another thing. This whole self-made thing, we're gonna have to stop saying that. Because if she met him when she was 20 and they got married in 2007, 14 years ago when she was 21, that means she married him when she was in college. And now I'm not saying everybody, but that sounds like a little sugar baby relationship in my mind.
So
What if she
Bobby,
was like super smart and graduated college at 21?
Okay, you can graduate, but what you doing to be with a Hollywood director?
Yeah, that's true.
first and only spouse for each of them.
That's an interesting.
Mm.
Does he have children before her?
No, only her. Only her too.
Do you think he might be? Do you think he might be for the community?
I think he's nerdy. I think he
The-
focused on his career probably.
Yeah, he focused on getting to the bag. He was
Yeah.
focused like he's
no,
from
because
Palo
no, but
Alto.
if he married her in 2007, right? Lion King was a
Mm-hmm.
decade before that. That was 13 years. He should have had plenty money. Because
Hmm.
when he met her, he wasn't relevant anymore.
But he's in Palo Alto, and just because okay, I'll give you guys some insight to how it works here. So he is from Palo Alto. He went to um he went to school at California Institute of Arts. Okay, so here what happened is you how can I put this? So he was a director, all that good stuff. We have to remember Pixar is here as well, and plus he's in the
Mm-hmm.
center of the tech before tech became what it really is now. So
Mm-hmm.
just because he's not relevant on his scene, I bet you that he got some investments we don't know about.
No, I
And
don't deny he's not rich, but I'm saying if
mhm,
she's if the age that she says is true, That means she got married at 21. She
Uh huh.
said she was 20 when she met her husband.
Hmm.
What is she doing at 20, even if she graduated college, to meet a 40 something year old man other than Sugar Baby?
Intern.
She doesn't have a degree in that. She has a degree in like science.
Let's see. Let's see what we got going on. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry, guys. Now Bobby got me up here
But
doing research.
but wait a minute. Like, don't you
Oh,
need like
she's an actress.
Oh. Well,
Mm,
there you go.
there you go. So a Sugar Baby.
See, and I was here thinking something much nicer, the auditioning couch.
Now, see, here's
Oh.
what Google lies. So one thing on Google says she's 35,
Hmm.
but then when I go to tvguidetime.com, it has her listed as 37.
Mm.
Oh, happy anniversary, Stephen.
Happy anniversary. Let's say she's 37, right?
Hmm.
That would make her still 20, 37. She's been married 15 years. That would still make her 22.
Hmm. Hmm.
She is, they say, okay, from what they say, she's 76 generation descendant of Confucius. She was born in New Northridge, California, to first generation Chinese immigrant parents. She attended UC Irvine, where she studied biology and history. In 2003, she met and later married. Okay, so she's lying about her age. If she met him in 2003, she said she was 20. That's what, 18 years ago?
Yes.
So that makes her 38.
Well, we all know Google can be wrong and lie sometimes. So interesting. It's just an interesting story. Like for me, she's interesting. She's not coming in weak. So she intrigues me. I'll put it that way.
But we had such faith in Tiffany, and she was such a letdown.
Tiffany came on at the end of the season in the reunion.
But she's not
She could.
coming back.
She hasn't said that yet. That's all speculation. No, there's been no official
Listen,
word.
I think this was a sugar baby relationship, but I ain't mad at it, sis. Get your money how you get your money. It's going to be interesting to see her on this season. I'm curious as to why she did this show, because you have to be a little attention seeking to do this show. So she's got me
But
piqued
but the
interest.
thing is, she's an actress though, so you have to keep that in mind. Any
Mm-hmm.
actress wants to be on the camera somehow.
And how old are her kids now?
They're young. They're young.
Hmm.
They're like under 10. Oof.
So she waited to have kids? Wow. Okay.
She had kids. Well, she got married in 2007.
Right.
Yeah. So they dated for like what 4 years and then got married.
Yeah.
Mm. Interesting. Okay.
Okay, but so then we got to Tiffany, and when they went to her house, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna give her two more chances, but I was super annoyed with her in her first scene. I found her to be annoying, boring, um, pretentious for no reason. Like, I was just sitting there and I was said the shade I would be giving her on that couch.
You were so funny, Bobby.
Oh
Listen,
my
why she
God.
was on the stove cooking something and I didn't see nothing in that pot. I said, "What are you cooking?
Oh,
What are you
oh dear.
cooking?" She was on the pot stirring, and I ain't see nothing come out that pot.
You are too funny.
And then this is the other thing.
You gonna
I
make me go back and look at that.
because I don't have children, I don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
isn't it a little bit rude to be saying, "Are you going to try for a boy?"
People are so hypersensitive nowadays. But back in my dinosaur days, that was a common question.
Listen, when you got a 31-year-old, you need to sit your poom poom down. Starting for a boy? Did you not hear she said she has a 31-year-old? What is she going to do? Have a magic baby like Houdini? Woo, a boy.
Mm-mm.
And then what was that conversation? She was talking about all these Chinese customs that she did to get the boy first. And I was just sitting there like, okay. So this is how science works. I just something about her is not sitting right with me.
No, I think she just explained that in Chinese culture that boys are like favored,
Yeah,
and
remember what happened
yeah.
with Christine and Bling Empire.
Yeah, I think it was kind of along those same lines. And she was like, oh, well, when I got my little boy first, I was like, "Phew, I've done it. And then I think it was the second child that she said she tried to stop the delivery until 8 o'clock so she could get to the lucky number of 8. Was that it, Jamal? Do you
Yeah, she
remember it
wants
like
you.
that?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. And then they went into the type A personality drivel.
Just to me, she just came across as nothing in common with these women and very plain. Like I feel like she has money, but again, she's not. I already can tell she's not gonna spend it like how I want it to be spent.
I'll agree with you on that. Just judging by her clothes. Yeah, I'll agree on that.
And I do think that she's going to need to call whoever styles Dorit. Like this is not the franchise to be basic. I hate to say it. This is the franchise to spend money. Once you get the call, she needed to go to a stylist.
Well, here's the thing. I think she'll learn that. But I'm not saying that, like, I'm sure her clothes cost a lot of money, but I think that they're just more conservative than we have become accustomed to with this gaggle of gals.
No, you could be conservative, but it needs to be rich. Like don't get J. Crew and Lands in. We want Versace. We want Versace. We want Balenciaga. We want Dolce and Gabbana. We want Chanel. And we don't want Chanel on the rack. We want Chanel in the room with the designs. They making it for you a custom gown for $100,000.
We want haute couture.
Yes, we want haute couture. We want the cheapest thing you to wear is $200 underwear. No, we don't want nothing cheap.
Yanni says she dressed like a 50-year-old woman, but yes, she was thinking about her image in the show, classy. I agree with this. I do.
But
And the reason why I agree with it was that comment that she made that some of her friends dress too young for their age.
you know who I think she needs to take lessons from? Heather.
Mm.
Heather is who she needs to monitor herself as
Heather
because
Dubrow?
Heather pretended to be so. Yeah.
Aha, okay.
You know how Heather
Mhm.
pretended to be so classy and so dainty and oh, I'm Heather, like she was a Kennedy.
Mhm.
Yeah. But let's get off of her. Let's talk about the what I really wanted to talk about.
Mhm.
Y'all need to come and get y'all girl Sutton. I was looking at that dress she wore to what was that? A barbecue? What was that?
Mhm.
What was that
Uh-huh.
rag that she was wearing?
It was the print. It was the print.
Listen.
It was the color.
No, let me tell
It
you
washed
something.
her out.
No. It wasn't just the print. It is the cut, it's the shape, it's the print, it's the fringe, and then Sutton has very old skin. And I'm not saying that to be rude, but no, I'm not saying that to be rude. her skin is losing the collagen, so she needs to be very careful about what texture she uses against her skin.
Mm-mm-mm.
I'm not
I
trying to be rude. I'm really trying to be nice about this, but she needs to really, really tone it down. Like, it might be time for Sutton to wear one of those old lady brands like Carolina Herrera.
You see, Carolina cuts with a waist, and that's something that Sutton lacks. That's why that flapper style dress that is perfect for her. She needs to wear a paper bag. She has no definition. She don't got that kind of dynamic. She's just and then the little swiggles, the I don't even know what they're called. The
French.
fringe, yes. That distracts from her not having a waist. But the color and the print were wrong on that. If she had on a jewel tone in that dress or even a metallic, she would have been on fire. But she
Okay,
just
Sutton,
wound
look
up
at
looking like her granny curtains. So there you go.
no, you know what I think Sutton needs? A Kafgan.
In a
Something that's
bright
going to give,
color.
yeah, something
Mm-hmm.
that's going to give her the illusion of
Mm-hmm.
like that dress was. I don't like a flapper dress on anybody though. That dress
Mm-hmm.
was awful. And then let's talk about Kyle. Kyle, I'm gonna need you to stop lying. You just wanted a nose job. You just wanted a nose job.
Mm-hmm.
When is she gonna get her facelift? Or did she get it already?
I think she got that already. Or at least a half lift.
No, but remember she got it and she was like, in the online showing how she got her facelift.
Who? Who showed their
Kyle. Remember
facelift
she
online?
went online?
Oh,
Kyle.
no.
Remember she showed how she got her facelift online?
Oh,
Yeah, it
no,
was
I
like a
don't
few months.
remember
Yeah.
that. Ooh, very
Yeah.
nice.
But the worst dress goes to Diane Von Stu. Yeah. Yeah, she would make a good dress. Um
yeah, Diane. Yeah, yeah.
shout shout out to Dorit's kids for telling her the truth. That does look like a robe. Shout out to them. And this is another
Oh.
thing. Call me
Mm-hmm.
picky, but when I come to your house, listen, that's why I always eat. That's a pet peeve of mine. To go to somebody's house and then you just snacking and you just eating little tiny bites of food. Like, uh-uh.
Yeah, I was disappointed in that. That was not a barbecue. That wasn't even a heavy hors d'oeuvre cocktail party. You cannot be serving people 6 pigs in a blanket off of a platter. Sorry, but whatever.
Well, the one
That
who
was
was
kind of rude though.
Mm-hmm.
the one who was giving me my life on this show had to be Dorit's boobs. I think she got them redone, don't you?
I have to look at them closer again because last year her boobs were looking really hard.
Mm-hmm.
On the top where it's supposed to be nice and fluffy and
Yeah.
marshmallowy, they were looking really hard. And that to me, like, that's not attractive. Her boobs, that was not like last season, her boobs were not good.
Well, I'm
But
hoping for better boobs this
when,
season.
well, when was she? Well, okay, maybe they opened up, you know, plastic surgery offices.
Well, Kyle got her stuff done through the pandemic.
Yeah, but she started filming with the bandages. And Dorit isn't going to do that, and Dorit needs to make money, so how much downtime is she going to have? That could interfere with taking pictures online.
Mm.
I'm just
I don't know.
saying.
Maybe she did it right after the season.
Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe
You
she
never
said,
know.
"Oh, I gained some COVID weight. I'll be gone for 2 weeks."
She is not going to admit that she gained weight because that could interfere with who's sending her clothes.
Listen, Dorit had me dying the first time I met her. I weigh the same I did in high school. I said, "Come on through." That was her first thing. I weigh the same I weighed in high school.
With the help of Dr. Schwartz. Okay. Mm-mm.
But that was the episode. That was
Yeah.
really brief and like for the season. Oh, how could we forget? Hold on. That Garcelle confessional look with the top bun and that Liberace type suit, I nearly died.
I thought she was going to perform a magic spell or something. It just looked very weird. Um, I, I, I didn't want to get into that because I was just so very disappointed in that. That hurt me to the bone when I saw it.
And another thing, when Kathy was talking about being a dentist, did that give you single white female vibes? That sounded crazy.
Like I said, I was disappointed in what Kathy brought to this season. Like, that's not what I expected from her. She sounded cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and it was making no sense to me. I didn't know how it fit into the conversation, talking about, the neighborhood kids that you terrorize with your dentistry skills. No. She was just odd for me. Everything from her conversation to being blind as a bat to the moo, it wasn't what I was expecting.
Well, guys, it was good talking to you. I will be going live later today to
Good.
give a good tongue lashing to these disrespectful children because remember I went to Tarjay child hour. I'm also going to be discussing Married at First Sight, just Chris, because that was I couldn't believe what I saw last night.
Yeah. It was a waste of time.
But shout out to Paige. That's the best you've ever looked.
She did look. For what I saw her, she did look good. I'm not mad at her for that.
They need to get whoever's that. But seriously, we gotta watch. Listen, Garcelle. I don't watch the reel. I don't know if her head be looking that tall up in the reel, but these fashions, this hair, these ugly barrettes, I can't do it this season.
Yeah. The barrette should have stayed with Dorit from last season.
Oh my gosh. Wasn't that the ugliest thing? And then she kept wearing more barrettes. It was like, why are you having so many?
Yeah, it wasn't cute. It wasn't cute when Dorit did it, and it's not cute when Garcelle's doing it. Sorry.
And Garcelle, we love you, Garcelle. We just want you to do better. That's all.
Yes. Oh, did you? Before I go, I heard there's a new black girl on Jersey.
Jersey,
New York.
New York.
No, Jersey. They said that I just saw something. I gotta go in it, but they said they have a new cast member in Jersey.
Oh,
I did see something alleging a new housewife for Jersey, but I didn't look that far into it.
So it should be interesting to see because I'm so ready for the felons of Beverly Hills. I'm ready to see Erica move to a 2-bedroom shack in the valley.
Wait, that hotel, not hotel, that house that rental is in the valley? I thought it was in Beverly. Wait, did I know where it was?
Is she in Beverly Hills, Jamal?
I thought Erica was in West Hollywood.
Oh, I think she's in West Hollywood.
Oh.
Where
at least she's near her glam squad if she's in West Hollywood.
I wanted her to be on a tent in Venice, so no, let me stop.
Okay, so Ebony Dix has told us it's not a new black girl. It's Dolores with too much bronzer, so they call her black. Y'all leave Black Dolores alone.
Y'all are so petty. But no, I'll be keeping it. But I saw something about this girl. I don't know if she was black or mixed, but we shall see. Did they start OC yet?
I thought they
That's on
delayed
hold.
that. Yeah.
It's on hold.
Oh, so that means they're gonna get canceled. Well, I'll be on it. We'll be talking about the Shaws because the Shaws was just too funny. That seems like it's gonna be the best out of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then is Jersey's going off. Isn't somebody coming back? Is it Potomac that's coming back now?
Yes.
Yeah, they're finishing filming, Jamal, if I heard the
They,
whispers correctly.
that's why I heard they're finishing filming.
Yeah.
Okay, so Potomac is coming, and then it'll be Salt Lake City with the Felon Jen.
Oof.
I
That should be
mean,
And
interesting.
you know what they should do? They should put all the felons in the Caribbean and have Felons Housewives Edition.
No, they got their passports taken away. So I think we should find an abandoned prison and put them in there just so that they can get acclimatized to their new homes.
So we're gonna
Debbie,
have
not
to,
climatized. Not climatized.
yeah, we could
Yeah.
do felons. You know, it could be like the Simple Life, but Felon Edition.
Yeah. And have Teresa as the warden because, she's the only one with experience so far.
Yeah,
I don't have to say allegedly for that. She did do time.
yeah, she did it. I was about to say allegedly.
I
She
know.
did it. You know, you gotta say allegedly, but yeah, she went. Let's see if Candy gets time because that Ti thing ain't looking good for her.
I think she could wiggle out of that.
All right. Well, it was good seeing you guys. I'm sorry you ran over. We enjoy talking about the mess and foolishness. I'm
Yes,
gonna
we do.
try and be on time for the Shaws. The Shaws come on Sunday, right?
Yep.
Sunday at 8. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And what time is your show tonight?
I already put it up. 6:15.
6:15. Okay, y'all. Make sure y'all go and see Ablavi M's channel at 6:15 Eastern.
Yes.
Yeah, Eastern time. Adjust for your own time zones.
All right, guys. Bye.
All
I'll
right,
see you
love.
then.
Bye. Okay, guys, I know we ran long and I know we were all over the place, but I had fun.
I mean, we're still talking about Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
It's just. But that again, before we go, that's what commentary is. Commentary should go in different directions, and you
Mm-hmm.
should look into every direction because everyone's going to see things from a different point of view.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoy seeing things from other people's point of view and listening to it because it points out things I may have missed. So when we go on a little tangent, it's because like, okay, I didn't see this reference, but now let me go. Now I gotta Google this real quick because I need to know what's going on.
Yes, or go back and look at something again because you might have missed it.
Oh, rewatch it. We have to go rewatch scenes. It's like, okay, I missed that. Let me go back and see what's going on
Yeah,
with people.
because food distracts me, but Jamal might pick up on a look or a conversation while I'm looking at the pathetic pigs in a blanket.
I'm still mad there was no sliders, no mini baby backs, no potato salad, no deviled
No,
eggs,
there wasn't even
no.
a lamb chop, no sushi. Like if you're gonna do finger food, like girl.
Like if you don't call it a barbecue, I really expect like burgers and hot dog. I was just disappointed.
Do you think Dorit thinks a barbecue is just the bar? Because remember when she was getting her makeup done, the guy was like, "Do you want lipstick or do you want gloss?" And she's like, "Well, I'm gonna be drinking a lot." What about the eating?
You know what it is? She forgot. She was so concerned about the bar, she forgot the BQ. So I'm gonna give her a pass on that one. But
I'm not
still,
giving her a pass for nothing because this franchise needs to eat. And I'm here for Kathy and Crystal and Garcelle because they eat.
Trey
Wait.
Devil Eggs should be the only.
Oh, yes, deviled eggs. You should have barbecue at a barbecue. Yep.
Mm-mm. Oh yeah, barbecue sauce, some sweet baby rays. Yep.
Well, everything at a barbecue could be no. If you have beans or any sort of like potato salad, you can't eat that with your fingers.
But here's the
Sorry.
thing, though. We should have been clued in right away that it wasn't going to be a barbecue because there was no grills and there was no smoke.
Yes.
So that's my own fault for not really paying attention to that part. If I had I seen there was no grill or no smoke, and when Dorit came downstairs, she didn't say anything like, "Oh, the food smells so good." We should have known right then and there. Because with
But
barbecue, if someone's grilling, you're gonna smell that. The way her house is set up, and the way she was coming down, you would have smelled the grilling.
well, quite honestly, did we really think that PK knows anything about a grill? Not that
Well,
I was
no,
expecting him to
no,
actually cook.
right. I was expecting them to hire a company to come and do the cooking.
Mm.
I was thinking she was gonna hire like professional barbecuers to set
Let's
the
just
grill.
call a thing a thing. From what I saw on that food display, she sent PK to the local Costco's to pick up the hors d'oeuvres, and they defrosted them, put them in the oven, and then had their assistants plate them.
That
That's
sounds
all
about
that was.
right.
Yep.
I can't sit here and argue with you on that one. I just really can't because I was disappointed. Like I said, my fault for not noticing the telltale signs.
And that was some shit that I would do. And worse off, she was cheap with the food. I expect to see, like, maybe this is just me being from the Caribbean, but I expect to see overflowing food displays, especially if you got coin.
I mean, when you got the coinage, what I would always, if I were throwing a dinner party, I would want to have 10 servings of everything per person.
Well, okay, so based on what I remember from food and beverage, if you are doing a um heavy hors d'oeuvres for your cocktail party,
Hmm.
and you're using that as a replacement for an actual sit down dinner, it's 12 to 15 pieces per person plus carvery.
Mm, gotcha.
So there was no substantial dead animal roasted on that table. And that looked like a light cocktail serving, which is 4 to 6 pieces. Medium is is 8 to 10. So she
Gotcha.
failed miserably.
True.
And if you're serving that much alcohol, you need to double up on your food.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying that for the driving because none of these ladies drive. I'm saying that for the bathrooms. You don't want nobody puking at your place. All right, Stephen, thanks for joining us. Okay, so we're wrapping it up. Yes, my friend Jamal, I'm sorry that we kept you from work so long.
Yep. We're good.
Okay, so until next time.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.